Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Dev Call today, Tuesday, June 11th, 2024. So for the last year, we've been really busy building Tellor Layer, researching and building it. And last Thursday, finally went to audit. Thank you guys. Great job getting it to audit on time. And this week, we'll be working on that. We'll continue to we'll address any feedback that we get from our auditors. Also, I just want to point out that through the last year, we've actually done a lot of things, not just Layer. We've obviously, Layer has been our priority, but we've also expanded to a bunch of new chains. I think right now, Spuddy, you might have a better number than I have, but I went through it this morning and I think I saw like 12 different mainnets and about 18 to 20, in total with testnets. And this week we're gonna, I just came back from being out at a few conferences, and I think I have like at least 3 new chains that I'm supposed to be deploying this week. So it's, it's been sort of like we've been expanding. We've also continued to support current tellers. So that's a lot of work that we've been doing as a team, and just really proud, and thank you guys for getting everything done and everything moving and running through all this time. Anyway, so with that, we can get started with today's actual dev call. So yesterday we didn't have a call, but Dan, the price monitors, we need to update those. I'm not sure if you did this morning, and then anything else you have going on?
Yeah, more upgrades for the price monitor. Just doing some kind of general cleanup and adding a lot more graphs.
Okay, and then also, I know we have a lot of monitors. Do you want to sit down and like just go through them with me and Spuddy and make sure that we have the correct addresses? I mean, we can do like a little work group later. Just I want to make sure that everything is up to date. I know we've been doing this async, but maybe it'll help to just sit down, the 3 of us, and just go through all of them. Also, Spuddy, I need to update my DVM. I don't have the latest of the latest with all the new chains that have been deployed. So, and I'm a few weeks behind, so I need to update that. But we'll schedule something this week. I know Thursday we're really busy, but maybe today or tomorrow. All right.
Yeah, sounds good.
Spuddy, how are you doing?
Great. I been working on the DVM, but nothing new will affect your DVM. When you want to add a new network to the DVM, we just add it to endpoints.yaml, and if you want to run the auto disputer, add an account that has that network, and that's it. But yeah, I'm working on the DVM. There's a lot of work actually unrelated to like my current goals that needs to be done. Also, I need to figure out how to run the tests. That's one thing that I gotta do. We used to fork mainnet and run the tests at a block where there were no submissions, but for some reason, like the forking thing that Ganesh does isn't working for me. That's might just be like a local problem. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure we'll get it working at some point. Akram, how's everything doing with Layer?
Everything is fine. Just going over some of the ADRs and also trying to look into how to do simulations. But I actually do have comments about the ADRs probably for the 1 o'clock will be good.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Anything that we document? Oh, so the ADRs, to give everybody background, it's and
design decisions.
It's architectural design records.
Yeah.
And so we've basically been documenting how we went about making some of the design decisions, and Mike has been really good at sort of synthesizing those into like more consumable content for Twitter if you guys don't want to go and read everything up. But we have since we finalized or we sent everything to audit, we're going back through those and making sure that what we documented is actually what we put into production or into the actual architecture. And Akram did a lot of the implementation, so he got the job of going back and making sure that Nick and I got it right. So thank you. I did have a few questions on the last Tellor Layer white paper that we put out. Or I don't even know if we actually put it out because I did add a few comments there, but we'll discuss them at 1 p.m. since this could be a really long talk.
Not out yet,
Okay,
but
thanks,
people
Mike.
love it when it comes out.
Thanks. Yes, we'll definitely, it'll be out by the end of the week. Brian.
Yeah, I'm just working on a couple front-end things, mainly regarding the bridge button, the snapshot teller module for to operate with the Zodiac module.
Caleb.
I am working on Telliot this week and getting a backup node so that if you ever run into node issues, instead of just immediately crashing, we'll switch to a backup node and see if it's working or if it's just a whole chain issue. So hopefully that will keep up some reporters and help them not just go down from a node messing up. So yeah, and then maybe setting up a slightly more sophisticated test net for Layer with the bridge and everything, which I'm very excited about.
No, we're all excited about that. Yeah, okay. Tim?
Yeah, so I'm working on adding some more automation for our snapshot Zodiac data type and integration. I think right now in Telliot, it's a bit of a manual process, but I think we can add more automation to that process. So I'm diving into that. I made a few changes to the snapshot front end last week, and we have a little more to go on that. But if anyone at Snapshot's listening, get ready to hopefully approve a pull request over there. Yeah.
Also, Tim, you were with me in Berlin. So the last 3 weeks, I feel like I've been a little bit in and out of the office because I've been at different conferences, but we were both at the Berlin conference, and that was when Tim did the first talk about Tellor Layer and its architecture, and you did a really good job. But you also went to Dublin. How was that?
That was great. It was a very hackathon focused conference. And so that was a lot of fun. Got together a group of strangers, 5 of us on the team, and put together a project in 2 days. So yeah, that was a good experience. I hadn't done that in a little while.
What did you guys build? Do you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of made a sovereign identity was the philosophy, medical records protocol thing. So we stored encrypted medical data. Well, the end goal is to put it on something like IPFS. It was on chain for now. But it allowed a patient to control who can access their medical records. And yeah, I don't know if I fully believe in that being a great approach, but it was a fun little project to put together. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, we had fun.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went after we left Berlin, I ended up going to Prague. I feel like Prague, Berlin, and Belgrade were all a very similar crowd, very technical people, very technical talks for the most part. But the one in Belgrade, it was the first one that I saw so much focus on the actual Oracle, and and just how people are implementing it, and people talking about how we continue to get hacked through manipulating the price of assets for DeFi specifically, and how we continue to use flash loans to do that. So a lot more people are actually thinking about it. A lot more people have it on their radar than it has been in the past, because I feel like in the past it has always been like in the back burner, like the last thing that they think of. But there was a security track at Belgrade, and probably like I went to the morning talks from 9 to 1 p.m. All the talks were about something related to the Oracle and its price, and I was just like, wait a minute. A lot of it reminded me of my best practices talk that I have been doing for about 2 years now. But people are thinking about it, so it was good to see. It was also, it was just a great group of people, very technical people, and I can't wait to go back. Honestly, I feel like I really enjoyed those. At least those three, I really enjoyed them. I didn't get to do a hackathon. I don't even think there was a hackathon related to any of those though. But anyway, yeah, so that's that for the three.
And I'd like to say Brenda did a CPI talk in Berlin and also in Belgrade.
Also in Belgrade. Yeah, so
that went well. That was great.
Yeah, thank you. It's a little bit different than Tellor. Tim did the Tellor Layer one, and I did the CPI, because I think, one of the things with Tellor, we try and be flexible and we try and look to the future. And, eventually, we also want to put this technology to better use, not just for disintermediating, financial institutions, but also to create better data. And we actually have 3 economists in the team. And one of the things that we want to expand to is to actually create a CPI measure that is completely decentralized. And obviously we would use Tellor because we would need that censorship resistance in case this alternative measure becomes ever challenges a government provided statistic. We want to make sure that it can be continued to be provided and created. And also, it's just a lot of fun. So that's my background. That's Nick's background too. That's Tim's background. And the talk was a lot of fun. There was a lot of interest, actually. I think people were more interested in the CPI aspect of it than me using Tellor for it. But I'm really so excited for it too. So, and you guys are gonna be helping me at some point. So yeah, that's on our to-do list, but after Layer. And yeah, thanks, Tim. And Mike, which ADR do you plan to put out this week? And do you need any help with that, or do you have any questions about that?
No, I was just gonna. It's a dual delegation one, so just make sure that if you're gonna make any updates to that file, that I can. I was gonna post it right after this call, so just like let me know if you need to make any changes.
I'd say go for it.
1002.
Yeah. Go for it.
I feel like there hasn't been any major change in that one specifically.
Yeah, and yeah, great job at putting those out. I know they've gotten picked up at a few places. Who knew that people were so interested in this? We always thought those were a little bit more of a boring process talks that we would only want to actually document, because sometimes we made a decision and then a month or 2 later, when we're dealing with something else, we went back to discussing that same thing, and we would always have to sort of walk back through our logic for implementing it initially. So it's just, this helped a lot, and people are super interested in it. So, or some of them have been. But anyway, the rest of the year, we're basically going to be working on making sure that we get Tellor Layer out, which means getting all of our testing done, getting a testnet up, getting a testnet with a bridge up, testing that, making sure that we can transition our current users to the new Tellor if once they update to their new versions, and that it goes as smoothly as possible. And then obviously focusing on security farther down the line, you know, doing war room and like doing all of these exercises to make sure that we eventually, when we go to mainnet, that we deliver something that is really, really secure. And with that, next week or next month, Caleb and I are also gonna go to EthCC. If anybody, Brian, are you coming? I need to know who's coming, but whoever's coming to EthCC, I know for sure it's Caleb and me. So we'll be there. If you guys want to talk, want to meet, let us know. And that's it. Unless you guys have anything else to add, I think that's it for the dev call / Tellor update. All right, so see you guys next week.